Someone smiles at you. Full smile, teeth and everything. And some part of you goes, no, something's off. You can't say what. You just know the smile stopped about 2 inches too early. That happened in 1/5 of a second. Less time than it takes to blink twice. And your conscious brain wasn't even in the room for it. In the late 1960s, a psychologist accidentally caught this signal on film while studying a patient hiding something life-threatening. Decades later, the US government spent nearly $1 billion trying to train people to consciously spot it. It mostly failed. And the reason it failed is the exact same reason you already have this ability and don't trust it. Most people assume this skill is a rare gift. A human lie detector who catches every flicker on purpose, like a superpower. That's not how your brain handles it. In 1969, psychologist Paul Ekman was reviewing slow-motion film of a psychiatric patient named Mary who'd requested a weekend pass and was hiding a plan to take her own life the moment she got it. On regular playback, her face looked calm, convincing. Slowed down frame by frame, there it was. A flash of pure anguish, gone almost as fast as it appeared, buried under the calm mask 1/5 of a second later. Ekman called it leakage. Your face tells the truth first. The social mask catches up a beat behind it. You've been seeing these leaks your whole life. Not consciously. Your visual system processes them whether you're paying attention or not. Which is exactly why something felt off arrives before you can explain why. Which is why most people misunderstand how this actually operates. Think of someone's face like a movie running at normal speed. 24 frames a second, smooth motion, nothing to catch. A micro-expression is a single different frame spliced in, there for 1/24 of a second, then gone, replaced by the performance again. Consciously, you never catch the single frame. But your visual cortex processes at a resolution your awareness doesn't have access to. The signal registers. It just surfaces as a feeling instead of a fact. Ekman and his colleague Wallace Friesen eventually mapped this out completely. The facial action coding system, cataloging every individual muscle movement the human face can make, and which combinations produce 7 expressions that show up the same way in every culture ever tested. Anger, disgust, contempt, sadness, surprise. Same wiring everywhere on Earth. Which means the flicker you caught wasn't a guess. It was pattern recognition running on a universal alphabet you were never taught, but were born fluent in. There's one single detail that separates a real smile from a forced one. A genuine smile pulls the muscle around your eyes, the crow's feet, the slight lift in the lower lid. A performed smile almost never bothers. The mouth can be told what to do. The muscle around the eye mostly can't. If you've ever felt like your brain is running a social radar that never turns off, scanning every room for hidden tension, microexpressions are the exact signal that radar is picking up. If this way of looking at human behavior makes sense to you, hit subscribe and pass this along. It brings more minds into the conversation. And this is where the story takes a nearly $1 billion turn into absurdity. After Ekman's research went public, the US Transportation Security Administration built a massive screening program around it, training officers to consciously scan crowds for these exact signals, checklist in hand. Multiple federal reviews found no solid evidence it worked better than chance. Not because the science of leakage is wrong. Because turning an instinct into a deliberate checklist, you actively hunt for changes what your brain is doing entirely. You start seeing threats that aren't there, or missing the ones that are, because conscious scanning is slower and clumsier than the system it's trying to replace. The system that's actually good at this runs quietly in the background. The moment you force it into conscious effort, hunting for a single tell, you get worse, not better. If you know someone who always trusts their gut about people and turns out to be right, send them this. Tell them that intuition has a name and it's not luck. Here are 3 mechanisms that work with that subconscious system instead of blocking it. 1. Establish the baseline. Ekman's research stresses this constantly. You can't read a deviation without knowing someone's normal. Spend the first 60 seconds of a conversation just noticing their resting face and default gestures. Nothing to interpret yet. Everything after that is a comparison, not a guess. 2. Check for asymmetry, not intensity. Genuine emotions tend to hit both sides of the face at the same time. Forced or performed ones frequently drift, stronger on one side, a half beat late on the other. You're not looking for a bigger reaction. You're looking for a lopsided one. 3. Look for clusters, not isolated cues. One flicker of anything, alone, means almost nothing. Could be an itch, could be nothing at all. Ekman's deception research is explicit about this. A crossed arm plus a flat tone plus one asymmetric flash together tell you something. Any one of those alone tells you nothing. Stop looking for the smoking gun. Look for the pattern. If there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. You're not paranoid for catching things nobody said out loud. You're not overthinking a smile that felt wrong. Your face reading system has been trained since infancy on the same universal signals every human face runs on, and it's faster and more accurate quiet than it ever is when you force it to explain itself. When was the last time you knew something was off before anyone said a word? Let's talk about it in the comments. In the next video, we move from individual faces to entire rooms, how some people walk into a space and read the social dynamics in 4 seconds flat before they've even said hello. I'll see you there.